Hold on a second.
Right. Kei atu ni kei ku rahi, kei o ku manu tai ko, tēnei te mi atu ko koutou I te taiga mai, I runga te kaupapa kaumui a tātou warawara te atu nei. Ko Marei Apatu a hau, ko hau te tukai hau tī o te tai whenua Heretaunga. He mihi ko ake ki ngā trustees wainganui ko koutou rā, kei he koutou koe. Okay, there's a starter I'm about to start. I got to think, so about, you've got to be fast with these 20-second loops, you know? It's like that Minty's moment, you've got to wait for it. Anyway, let's go. So, we're predominantly a service provider organisation that's got 50 services under our watch, servicing 12,000 people. But we needed a battalion and army, so this is a Māori organisation of kaupapa operatives, moko. And so they were under the bows, of course, our rangatira at this particular time with the surging threat of COVID that was starting to get to our shores, unrelenting. And so we had to sort of batten up. They're waiting for their PPE suits to arrive. And they're just looking over to see that we've got a multitude and a battalion actually that's going to take on this effort. Because when we start to see the effort that's required to actually take on Mate Corona, hey, is that thing going? We've got to change it. Whoa! Oh, okay, got it now. There's nothing short, of course, of having to prepare your battalion to actually go out onto the front line. So here it goes. Māori Battalion, march to victory. Māori Battalion, strong and true. Māori Battalion, march to glory, and take the honour of the iwi with you. We'll march, march, march to the enemy, and we'll fight, fight to the end. With these community champions, and for these people too as well, while we do this, and we're having a bit of a rest too as well. But the work goes on, whānau. The work goes on, and of course it's been premised by this lovely thing called PGF, $6 million that came into the rohe, and thanks to TPK, Hastings District Council, to Te Whanganui Arotu, and Heretaunga Tai Whenua, all of that money going to boot-ready jobs. Almost and of course, you know, they say that there's, prior to COVID, that there were a third of the Māori total population that were poor, a third of the Māori population that were on benefits, and a third of the Māori population that could afford things. Well, post-COVID, guess what morphed? The beneficiaries, the poor, and some of those that were kind of Māori that could get away with paying for things, such as homes like this. At the moment, we've got 10 homes that have been completed out at Waingako. So mihi atu kia koe JB, because ko kia whakaputa atu te ingoa tēnei project Waingako for our whānau wanting a home. We've got 82 on the next 2 years that are going to be built in Harakeke Flexmere over these stages, and of course it's been through all of the effort of K3, Ngāti Kahungunu, Hastings District Council, and a lot of government agencies. So mihi atu ko koutou rā. Oh, does this thing change or do I change it? Hey, but look, when COVID hit, it actually changed the way that we have gone about things in our tikanga, our kaupapa and our kawa. And of course, as Ngāhi, we had Jacinda, first of all, had set the lockdown restrictions. Ngāhi came out and said, hey, look, with the Ngāti Kahungunu, we're going to take that whole restriction right up to the end of the year. But we still carried on after that. Geez, that came in quick. So this is our ngā matara. Our principal role I undertake is facilitating wānanga. Wānanga in this case with the health and well-being of our waterways. Here you see Marei Black, and of course he's with Dr. Jamie Hataria. We're on the Papa Nui Tuki at Ngā Whakatātara, and we're taking our whānau, our rangatahi, to actually learn our matauranga, to be a part of the mohiatanga, that's his contribution to go alongside, of course, Western science. And last year, prior to COVID, out at this lovely place called Pukiwi Takawaia Maui, through the battering of Hine Moana coming thrashing into some of these high dunes that you see up and amongst this, we've got students here from Te Kuru Kaupapa Te Ara Hau, and other students. They're actually alongside of 14 people that travelled up from the University of Otago. Some of this stuff that you see here in amongst this are shells, ko iwi of bird, as Manu had, Ngahi we had talked about, of ika, and of course ko iwi of people. And so 300 bags of these specimens to assess this particular beautiful spot was trying to determine what was the living situation and condition. Is it an urupa? Is it a kainga? So we're still waiting for that result to come. But it merges both Matauranga Māori to contribute to the history and the past of where we've come from. And of course, we had embarked upon wanting to make sure that if there's going to be any input in developing co-design around Māori frameworks, kaupapa frameworks, we needed it to be right at the very front end of this. So there are approximately 25 people currently at the moment that have gone through this particular program of action. And as I say, it is ultimately trying to look at how do we measure well-being amongst our whānau. Well-being of the tinana, well-being of the pūtaiao. And we've got some stunning pukinga and students in here. Here you'll see Thompson, Hokianga, and of course we've got Wayne Ormsby from Kohupātiki Marei. It was intended for both tamatea, for taiwhenua Heretaunga tamatea. We're still wanting to ensure that that aspiration does spread across to each of our taiwhenua and spread it out. I just want to acknowledge, I've just seen Ue, he's here, and of course Ue, you're in this clip. Now this particular groundbreaking research has been led out by GNS. I have to acknowledge Ngaio, because he flew up to the past to Te Taiwhenua Heretaunga, because this research was being undertaken here, groundwater, surface water, to trace isotope aging within water. So just want to mihi to the team. They arrived at this particular time back in February, a team of about 14 of you, which were Victoria University, Niwa, and of course we started to go around Heretaunga, but ended up at a wānanga at Mangaro for a lively session, in my head. Hey, and a big mihi to each and every one of ourselves. As it's been vividly expressed, yesterday was a very, very triumphant day. It might be 2 out of 3. That ain't as bad as Ngahi said, but this is just an acknowledgement for each and every one of us that have been standing, waiting, patiently, tolerantly for over 181 years. I want to dedicate this slide because today there's one of our champions, and her name is Joella Brown, and she's in Hohipera up in Auckland. And I just want to say that our wahine, it typifies her commitment, her contribution back to her marae, hapu whānau, and it couldn't be said without having to say and recognise that, one, we want our wahine to get better, we want our wahine to get well, because she is a very important part of this whole team. And just to acknowledge Marei Black, Ngaio, Dr. Anthony Cole, and of course Kate MacArthur have made huge contributions to our team, which is Dale Moffat, Lana Bartlett, and Trish Niku. Kia ora. Yeah. Okay, can you do that? Oops, go back. Look, you don't have to read into the devil of what comes at us. And I mean, we've been the antagonistic submitter throughout the page of time. And that it's only because of these hearings that are going on next week at Mangaro that we are now having to fight the battle around the sanctity, the safety of our wai. And so this is just a representation of what our wai is. Ko au te wai, ko au te awa, ko te awa ko au. Ko au te wai, ko te wai, ko au. Now, hey, we threw this fellow back to Ngāti Porou, and we took Ngāti Porou South back up to Kahungunu North, even though we're right in the mantle of Te Runanga Nui o Ngāti Porou. But also, just to farewell George, and say, yep, on your way, you're going to be our Trojan horse of Kahungunu up in Ngāti Porou. But also to welcome our wahine, Waylon Tahuri. Hey, look. hey, we turned 35 last year, so it must have been each and every other tai whenua must be getting to that particular point in your development involvement. Well, this was really our trustee. So I'm just going to end it on this. Happy birthday to us. Happy birthday to us. Happy birthday, o tai whenua.